Hey everybody, Tim here with today's episode of Star Trek Voyager, Season 6, Episode 18, Ashes to Ashes. Again, I'm sorry, I don't know why, but I didn't like this episode. I think what fell apart for me for this episode is the fact that we've never seen this character before. And if they had done somebody that we knew or had seen, even if it was just a background character from season 1 or something, that would have been more interesting than just making somebody up. So this whole episode is about Lindsay Ballard, and evidently she was an ensign that died 3 years ago. And again, it's very similar to one of my favorite episodes, where the Doctor had to choose between an ensign and Harry's life. That was kind of the same problem, where we know who Harry is, so clearly he's going to choose Harry. This episode kind of falls in that same problem, where this whole episode is about this character that died, and she was discovered by another alien species who revived her body, and now she's trying to come back to Voyager. She looks like the alien because they changed her DNA, so the Doctor changes her back. There's a weird scene where she speaks the species is called Cavalli. She starts speaking Cavalli and everybody's looking at her like she's crazy. And this is one of those weird Star Trek glitches that don't really make sense, because theoretically, it doesn't matter what language she speaks, the translator is always going to translate it. So even though she starts yelling Cavalli, the translator would have fixed it, presumably. So, I didn't like that scene. It kind of bothered me. I also didn't like the scene where she goes to Captain Janeway to have dinner, and the replicator burns the pot roast, and so she just happens to have peanut butter jelly and bread, and she's like, let's make sandwiches. That whole thing felt super forced and super fake. For one, why would the replicator burn the pot roast? That didn't make sense. And why would she just have these ingredients lying around? Unless she eats a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, that would go bad by the time she eats it. So, I don't know, the whole thing just felt super fake. So, of course, her body starts rejecting everything. She ends up going back to her people, and then we never hear about Lindsay Ballard again. There's some interesting subplots about the Borg Children that we saw the episode before last. So again, it's kind of interesting that they are keeping them in the continuity. But again, it's kind of the same thing as Naomi, though. We only see Ensign Wildman in 4 episodes for the entire series. But Naomi's in at least a dozen episodes. So that the fact that these Borg Children are in these episodes kind of make it interesting, and I'm kind of curious to see where they go with it. So for this episode, what did you guys think about Lindsay Ballard, and just randomly she died 3 years ago and now she's back, even though we've never seen her before? Did you guys have a better character in mind that would have been more interesting? Even if it was fucking Seska or something, I feel would have been more interesting. So what did you guys think? Go ahead, let me know, and I will see you guys next time for Child's Play.